Good morning, SAS. I'm Cal Galicia, this year's Executive Service Council President, and welcome to the very first virtual service assembly. But more importantly, welcome back to service. Now, you're going to hear this a lot, but now more than ever, service is needed, here and around the globe. The pandemic has revealed many problems in society, problems that need solving. And that's what service is here to do.
Service has and will continue to play a huge role in our high school community, but by no means is this saying that you have to serve. After all, there is no graduation requirement when it comes to the quantity of service hours. Here at SAS, we stress the importance of voluntary service with the goal of helping you engage in meaningful and personally relevant service activities. With our 60+ service clubs, we want you to find something that you love, and that itself be the motivating factor for you to serve.
Our service community is very much one that is both student-initiated and student-led. You can choose to get involved by joining any of our service clubs or projects, or applying to establish one yourself if you see an unfulfilled need. Our clubs conduct service through a range of activities and events. They engage directly with those they serve through visits to shelters, homes, and other locations of need, or weekly video calls to teach English. The SS needs and raise funds through galas, donation drives, and other school-wide fundraisers, such as the Zombie Run or the Teacher Karaoke. At SAS, students are given the liberty to shape their service experience in a way that suits their strengths, passions, and interests.
With everything being said so far, we realize that some of you might be worried of how service is going to look this year. That's completely understandable, as the unprecedented pandemic has resulted in the enactment of many social restrictions. However, let us make it clear that service will not be put an end to. Service will not stop this year, service will not stop next year, service will not stop in the next decade. Service will not stop in face of any virus, any pandemic, any crisis, or any conflicts. Service will be affected by those things, but as long as we, the students of Singapore American School, and more importantly, virtuous global citizens, maintain our spirits to help and serve others, service will be bounded by nothing.
Our community has adopted a series of approaches that the ESC implements so that clubs are able to conduct their service. These are also known as pillars. The first pillar is direct service, where we heavily emphasize serving communities in person. The second pillar is indirect service, where clubs may not necessarily aid specific identifiable individuals in need, but still work to support the cause at hand. The third pillar is advocacy, in which clubs raise awareness and educate others on the issue at hand. The fourth and final pillar is research, in which clubs are able to research and gather information to help support and relieve the issue at hand.
So who are we? We're the Executive Service Council. Some people think of us as the Stuco of service, but I don't see us as that. We're counselors. We help people help people. Now this is my team, Renee, Mingyu, Ashley, Kohei, and Viv. And if you're interested in joining us, we have elections every February. On that note, last February, I said that we all needed to strive to be unneeded. We all serve because we want to solve a problem or aid an issue. In an ideal world, there would be no reason to serve. The deeper goal of service is to eliminate the need to serve in the first place. And that all begins with our first ESC annual theme, COVID-19 Relief and Reconstruction.
So why relief and reconstruction?
Because we can't, under any circumstances, pretend like COVID-19 has not opened up deep fault lines between the privileged and the poor. Cracks in marginalized communities that have persisted through decades of systemic violence, both economically and politically, bear wretched fruit. Reconstruction is not merely recognizing this unique historical moment. It is more. It is recognizing our common and collective humanity. Relief in this sense is a band-aid. It is helping communities as they are. Reconstruction is a radical embrace of a politics that says that we have the power to change things, that things are not too late, and it is understanding the pain of communities that bleed the most.
A little over 3 years ago, I joined the ESC as a wide-eyed freshman eager to serve. My biggest role model at the time was someone that now attends a small liberal arts college outside Boston. Here she is now, my role model, my former president, and my good friend, Ruth Jan Supplicant.
Hey SAS, welcome to this year's Service Assembly. My name is Ruth Jane Supplicant, and I'm an alumni from the class of 2018. I'm currently a rising junior at Harvard University, but in high school I was the president of the Executive Service Council, as well as the founder of the service club Friends of Genesis, who I just really quickly want to give a huge shout out to. I've been a part of my fair share of service assemblies, but this is the first one that's ever been done virtually. And though I know it's disappointing that we can't all be sitting in the high school gym together for this, I know that the SAS service leaders have done so much incredible hard work over the summer so that you guys can still experience and learn about all the amazing service opportunities we have here. So when I sat down to record the first version of this speech just last week, I was kind of at a loss for what I should focus on because it's been an incredibly tumultuous year. Of course, you already know this, but even in the past few days, it seems like so much more suffering has compounded in the world. From what's going on in Zimbabwe to the explosion in Lebanon, it seems like it's impossible to know where to start because there are so many people who need our help right now. And I know that even within the SAS community, it can be kind of overwhelming to look at over 50 service clubs and think, how do I even start getting involved, or why should I get involved? And I hope that by sharing some of my service experiences with you today, you'll begin to think about what it is that you want to do with your time at SAS and how you best want to make your impact on the community around you, whatever that community may be. So I'm actually going to talk a little bit today about what doing service at SAS actually gave to me that I don't think I would have had otherwise. And although this is just my experience, I know that many of my classmates and peers from my time at SAS felt the same way about the amazing service community here. So the first thing that the SAS service community really gave to me was a sense of purpose that I was missing before. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but when I entered SAS in 8th grade, I had no idea who I was, what I wanted to do with my time, and what was really important to me. And by getting involved with the service community, I found that there was a group of really passionate people working towards something greater than ourselves, working towards helping others rather than just advancing our own agendas. And that was a strong sense of purpose and a sense of belonging that I needed. And I don't mean that suddenly all I wanted to do was service. I just mean that I began to see how helping others kind of infiltrated every other area of my life. Whether that was singing at charity events and making people smile at concerts with the SAS singers and the pitches, or whether that was in debate helping underclassmen prepare for IASIS tryouts, or welcoming new students through peer support, I began to see how helping others was an integral part of every activity we do here at SAS, even if we don't realize it. And I think that really helped me feel like I had something to work towards and a group of people that I could work towards that with. Because the second thing that the SAS service community really gave to me was that sense of belonging, that sense of home, and that sense of family. I never would have expected it, but through service, I was able to form some of my closest friendships with people in my class, as well as really strong mentorship relationships, both with upperclassmen who were above me when I was younger, and as a mentor to younger students when I became an upperclassman. Additionally, I got so close to so many amazing teachers that I can't even name all of them through service. And I think that, like I said earlier, working together with people towards something that's much larger than yourself brings you together in a way that nothing else can. So that was really important to me. And I think the third thing that the SAS service community actually gave to me was a skill set, which is kind of an interesting one because it's not necessarily the first thing we think about when we think of service. But service builds leadership, it builds humility, it builds communication in a way that I think is really unique. Because you learn how to give yourself away. You learn how to really listen to what other people are saying, how to collaborate, how to stay organized. And I think that's something that I've really brought forward with me into college. So those are just quickly 3 things that I think the SAS service community really brought to me in my time in high school. And I also just want to share about how I've brought that forward with me into college. So as I mentioned, I'm attending Harvard currently. And when I was a senior applying for schools, I knew that I really wanted somewhere that had a strong emphasis on student leadership and student service. And so Harvard is a place that I think really emphasized that, and as soon as I heard about that, I knew it was one of the right places for me. And I've spent my time volunteering at homeless shelters. I was a summer camp counselor for low-income kids in Boston's Chinatown last summer. And I think the people that I like the most, the people that I most want to spend my time with, are the people who have that really strong sense of passion and vision for the future and are willing to put in the work to get it done, just like all the service leaders I met at SAS. And so, like I said, that was my experience. But when you're thinking about your own experience, it can be really overwhelming. You think, I don't know where I should serve. I don't know how I should serve. And when I was preparing for this speech, Cal asked me the question, what do you think we should most be focusing on in today's world climate? And I was really dreading having to answer that in this speech because it's a question I've been asking myself for the past few months, the past few years even, and it's not one that I'm sure I have the answer to yet. If I could bring in 100 people to help me answer this question, I think we'd get 100 different answers. For some people, what's most important to focus on right now might be COVID-19, or the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality in America, or gender and sexuality-based violence all around the world. And it could be climate change. It could be a million different things that I haven't even mentioned yet. And I think it's really hard to know what the one thing you should be focusing on is. But my answer, and maybe this is kind of a cheat, but I think it's true, is that there's no one right thing to be focusing on, and there's no one right way to be doing service. Because ultimately, each of us has our own passions, our own strengths, and our own things that we feel we can really make a difference in. And that's what's actually important with service, is you don't want to just do it because you feel like it's the right thing to do, or because you feel like everybody else is doing it. You should be serving because you look at an issue and you think, this is somewhere where I can genuinely make a difference, where I know my strengths and my passions can be applied in a really meaningful way, and where I'm going to enjoy myself and grow personally from doing the service. If you love playing sports or music or science or writing, there's a place in the service community for you. There's a way that you can use those talents and strengths you already have to make a difference. And I hope that over the next few days, you'll be thinking about what it is that you really love and how you can use that to make a difference right now. Because all of these issues, the truth is, need solving. And all of them need people who are going to solve them. And so that person really could be you, and it could be anything that you do. So although I know that might not answer the question fully of what it is we should be focusing on right now, or how we should get started in service, I hope you spend the next few days thinking about what it is you really care about, the things you love to do, the people you love to be around, and the people you really want to help, and how you can use that to make a difference this year. I know that SAS is going to be different this year, but it's also going to be a great way for us to learn to care for each other even better and to care for the community around us. So I hope you take these opportunities and use them to run forward and serve others well.
Education is not a privilege, but a right. That's the key belief under which all of our Education for All clubs operate. These clubs envision a world in which every child in every country has access to quality education and spends their days learning at school instead of working to support their families.
Every day in Nepal, incarcerated mothers are faced with the dilemma of bringing their children to live with them in prison or forcing them to live on the streets alone. The Butterfly Home's mission is to provide these children with opportunities such as healthcare, education, and support. Our club aims to give these children resources and funding for a chance to succeed and secure their future.
Here at ECHO, we are proud to be the only Latin American-based club in SAS. We support a shelter in Bogota, Colombia, which provides a home and education to girls whose families can't afford it. Our meetings are every other Wednesday in H312 at Flex.
Join our club.
Do you love pho, participating in eating competitions, and teaching students English?
Do you want a chance to go to Ho Chi Minh City and directly work with the students?
If you do, then join Outreach Vietnam.
Thank you.
We're a club that works with an NGO called Pratham. And basically what we do is we bridge the gap in education and provide resources to students less fortunate than us. It's something we're all really passionate about. And if that's something you're passionate about too, please sign up. Thank you.
Free Bhutan strives to catalyze rural prosperity in Bhutanese communities through improving literacy rates among women and children. We do this by engaging in weekly Skype sessions, holding fundraisers and galas to raise money for the centers, and hosting internships to the Bhutanese villages of Ha and Punakha. We hope to see you soon.
Our mission at Tassel is to teach English to Cambodian students in the most rural parts of Cambodia. Through our weekly video calls, we not only connect with the students, but also share kindness and love. If you're interested in changing the lives of Cambodian students, Tassel is the club for you.
Wish for Kids is a club focused on educational opportunities for children in the impoverished communities of Cebu and Bohol in the Philippines. Throughout the year, we collect and send donations of books, clothes, and other items, as well as fundraising for scholarships and supplies for the schools we work with. We are always looking for new ways to support our communities and hope to see you at one of our meetings soon.
YAC aims to help the people in China and Singapore via education and service. We work closely with organizations in SAS, Singapore, and China and strive to improve the lives in our community while promoting Chinese and Singaporean culture.
In the coming decades, we are facing apocalyptic crises, from climate change to economic collapse to socio-ecological issues. The goal of clubs in this umbrella is to raise awareness for issues that face all of humanity.
ACRES is an organization aimed to raise awareness and funds for wildlife, focusing on rescue, rehabilitation, and release. If you're interested in helping us on this mission and visiting the ACRES Sanctuary, join us at ACRES to improve the environment acre by acre.
Blue Planet Initiative is a club that aims to practice and promote marine conservation through direct service and indirect service, such as on-campus advocacy, beach cleanups, and partnering with other environmental organizations. If you feel like you have any affinity with the environment at all, especially the ocean, BPI is the club for you.
We are Edible Garden, which is a service club that strives to teach our community about the benefits of sustainable gardening practices by combining hands-on service and educational research opportunities. We meet every Tuesday after school to strategize and develop our rooftop garden, Wednesday lunch for general meetings, and Fridays after school for a visit to a local farm.
Join a dedicated network of activists globally in order to empower student voices to talk about global issues and make meaningful change by working with students across the globe and by working to change things within school as well.
Driven by the vision that everyone needs a decent place to live, Habitat for Humanity aims to help people all around the world find or improve a place they call home.
We combine both direct and indirect service to help families achieve the strength and stability they need to live comfortable lives. Through Shelter, we empower.
International Students for Refugee Aid, or ISRA, is a service club dedicated to providing support for the Rohingya refugees impacted by the ongoing crisis in Myanmar. Through organized fundraisers and advocacy events, ISRA works with organizations on the ground to provide support for these forgotten people and unmask the stigma in society against refugees.
Liberty in North Korea, also known as LINK, is a global nonprofit organization that works to help relieve the North Korean refugee crisis, mainly through three major ways: refugee rescues, refugee resettlement, and changing the narrative. At SAS, our club stands for the same goals as the organization and strives to reach these goals mainly through fundraising and awareness-raising events.
Safe Club aims to raise awareness for global environmental issues through community service and education. We strive to make a difference on a local and international scale by promoting environmentalism and eco-friendly habits.
We function as a service club dedicated to raising awareness about animal cruelty, as well as serving at and raising money for animal shelters. If you join, look forward to creating exciting posters, writing in-depth articles about animal cruelty, and lastly, and most importantly, interacting with adorable animals. Our goal is to protect animals and help them in any way possible.
The Stairway Foundation houses formerly sexually abused Filipino street boys, helping them reintegrate into society through a year-long voluntary program. Through the club, we help these boys reestablish their trust in humanity by bonding with them in something we like to call service through friendship. To learn more, find us on Instagram at stairway.sas.
We're Access Project, and we are a relatively new service club in the high school that works to serve the Access Project NGO in Jakarta as best as we can. We organize several fundraisers, product sales, bake sales, to support the organization in their cause, which is to transform trash and transform lives.
While we have a wide variety of clubs who serve across Singapore and around the world, we also have an amazing group of clubs who serve our community right here at SAS.
Hi, we're Digital Frontiers, and our mission is to serve the SAS community by providing digital service to clubs and organizations through websites, live streaming, and other digital outlets.
EAA helps support elementary school teachers when they engage in a wide variety of after-school activities with elementary school students.
Every day, students go and help the teachers through aspects such as helping proctor activities, making sure the kids are enjoying the activities, and even becoming a helper teacher to the kids.
Photo Club is a platform where anybody, regardless of skill, can learn, share, and at the end of the day, increase their passion for photography. There will be structured workshops, contests for you to challenge yourself, and opportunities like other club events, or even our monthly Instagram to gain experience and service hours. You also have a fantastic opportunity to give back to our SAS community through the yearbook.
Hi, we're Spotlight on staff, and we aim to give back to the hardworking housekeepers and custodians of SAS.
Technical Theater strives to provide the most professionally made shows across SAS.
Theater Makeup Club is where members learn through hand-on workshops how to work with stage makeup, hair, and face painting to provide makeup services for school events and productions. Club members can also earn production points for Thespian Honor Society eligibility.
Clubs under the umbrella of Help for the Disabled and Ill are clubs that aim to help the differently abled community in Singapore and abroad. Ranging from monthly hospital visits to weekly sports sessions, Help for the Disabled and Ill clubs aim to provide consistent, hands-on, direct service.
Friends of Genesis aims to raise awareness about children with special needs in Singapore, and we partner with the Genesis School for Special Education by helping out at their events and classrooms and by making connections with the students there.
We're the Hope for Heroes team. We help bring joy into the lives of children at the Heroes School in Myanmar through art and music programs. Some activities we do are weekly storytime sessions and our annual scrunchie sales, and also other fundraising events. We meet on Thursdays after school, and we'd love for you to join us.
Leprosy Home is a service club dedicated to serving the patients at Silvera Leprosy Home. With weekly visits to Sunrise Home and collaborations with other clubs, we aim to serve the elderly through music, games, and activities. Although we are greatly impacted by COVID, we hope to create opportunities this year to contribute and fundraise online.
We're a service-oriented club that seeks to spread awareness of mental health and decrease the stigma surrounding mental disorders. We do this by opening up conversations about mental health and running awareness campaigns in and out of school, including a popular event called Mental Health Week. Usually we visit the Institute of Mental Health for volunteer work, but this year our initiatives will change slightly due to COVID. However, we're excited to promote awareness in other forms.
Our club strives to enrich the lives of people with disabilities and actively build toward a future that openly accepts such individuals. We support this cause locally through weekly volunteering at the Meta Home and Down Syndrome Association, and globally as well as through advocacy projects. Join our home and build a brighter future.
Here at the RMHC, we aim to bring light into the lives of little children in the hospital.
Special sports aims to be a source of comfort and support to those with special needs. We accomplish our mission through hosting weekly sessions of basketball, swimming, and bowling, where our club members bond with the people we serve while creating strong, sustainable relationships. Join us on the court, alley, and swimming pool.
The very first UN Sustainable Development Goal is no poverty. Poverty eradication is a straightforward umbrella. All these clubs wish to eradicate poverty. From building houses in the Philippines to working in the HDBs right outside SAS, all these clubs wish for a world where no one has to worry whether they'll get 3 meals a day.
Beyond Social Services is a club that specifically targets people within our reach in Singapore, which are the less favorable situations for kids and especially at-risk individuals. And we do this by having fun, engaging activities with the kids, whether it be here at school, but probably in the future near them. But most of all, we're just building relationships with these kids and just having a blast.
Caring for Cambodia envisions to educate and change the future of youths in Siem Reap. So what are you waiting for? Join the Orange Army now.
The SAS chapter of Food from the Heart aims to exemplify the goals of the organization to reduce poverty and help the low-income and provide nourishment to low-income children. This is accomplished through our food distributions, warehouse trips, and yearly toy buffets.
We plan to educate and promote the lives of impoverished young children in Indonesia. Join our club and let's go loco. Inspire these kids with your education and macho. Don't hesitate and join GAFO.
Gawad Kalinga is an organization that strives to alleviate poverty in the Philippines. Our goals include cultivating sustainable villages and forming community relationships. Through fundraisers like the annual Zombie Run, we have managed to build our very own SAS village for around 20 families, and we would love for you to join the GK family.
Our club works together with an organization in South Korea to help an orphanage there and change the lives of many Korean kids without a family by providing them with funds to buy diapers and milk powders and etc., doing annual soccer charity events, bake sales, and community talks.
New service clubs, or NSCs as we like to call them, are run by groups of students who have taken the initiative to start up a service club from scratch. From helping recycle SAS waste into useful materials to helping natural disaster victims in Japan, NSCs cover a wide range of interests and passions.
Billion Bricks strive to spread awareness of homelessness among the Tibetan refugee community. We partner with the Billion Bricks NGO, a nonprofit organization that helps us to donate weather-hide tents, innovate life-saving shelters that protect the vulnerable.
This service club collaborates with the local NGO Daughters of Tomorrow to support underprivileged women and their families. Daughters of Tomorrow's mission is to assist these families in providing employment opportunities and financial stability.
Join digital citizens in order to enhance education,
improve the lives,
and provide first-generation learners with opportunities of a lifetime.
So our club strives to reduce waste, and basically we take products that are neglected or labeled as trash and we repurpose them in more creative ways.
And the aim of this club is to encourage responsible consumption and production. And since there's a growing issue with waste, we hope to reduce the impact that waste has on the environment.
NKF is a closely knit club that helps one of the most substantial communities in Singapore, kidney disease patients. In fact, Singapore ranks 5th in the world for new cases of kidney failure. Through dialysis center visits and engaging with the SAS community, NKF strives to better educate students about these prevalent issues.
Hi, we are a service club here at SAS that aims to raise money and awareness for primarily children with cleft lips and palates around the world. Operation Smile funds surgeries for those who can't afford it. And what we want to do is shine a light on this lesser known issue and use our privilege to help others.
PRISM is a service-oriented club focused on advancing the welfare of LGBTQ+ people around the world. We believe in equality for all people, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. In light of COVID-19, we are focusing primarily on supporting the LGBT community in Singapore through digital advocacy and support via social media.
Project Dignity recognizes that both the differently abled and elderly can be undervalued in society. We strive to empower the differently abled staff members of Dignity Kitchen by supporting their food stalls, while also forming connections with the elderly people that are brought to Dignity Kitchen during our regular visit.
We are a club that aims to give financial and emotional aid to Japanese natural disaster victims.
We have many fun activities planned and future opportunities to do service in Japan. We would love for you to be a part of our journey.
Join us online every Wednesday.
SA Deaf is a club that strives to support the deaf community. Our mission is to bring awareness to the deaf through online volunteering opportunities, unique fundraising events, SGSL lessons, which is Singapore Sign Language, deaf awareness talks, and our advocacy work to help the SA Deaf organization manage their social media accounts.
By increasing awareness throughout SAS, SAGE hopes to inform individuals on the disturbing prevalence of sexual assault in Singapore, in turn creating a safer environment for those who have been affected.
By working with both the Aware Center and the Sexual Assault Care Center, SAGE is committed to promoting training programs which allow students to become qualified first responders for victims.
We are She's the First chapter at SAS. We provide scholarships for girls living in low-income countries and foster discussion on gender inequality.
We're student athletic trainers, and we allow students to have a chance to gain knowledge regarding anatomy and taping injuries, as well as a hands-on experience helping injured athletes. We serve the SAS athletic community and Tomo, and we get to work closely with her.
Art has the power to transform, enlighten, and inspire. Our club strives to harness this power by assisting art classes at the Singapore Very Special Arts Centers, forming personal connections with the people at these centers, fundraising, and advocating for the cause.
Vivace provides musical entertainment and therapy to patients in Alexandra Hospital and the elderly. We also work with Sing Theater to help fund music classes for families unable to afford them.
We provide meals to the underprivileged, the needy, and other marginalized members of Singapore by volunteering at the Willing Heart Soup Kitchen, helping to supply, prepare, cook, and distribute various food items for the needy.
And we volunteer every Sunday and Saturday. And in addition, we have an in-school cooking session every Monday.
Service projects are not clubs, but they are still integral parts of our service community. Service projects generally focus on singular issues or events, such as Walk for Water, and are either run by a dedicated team of officers or are structured similarly to clubs. This year, we've had an outgrowth of COVID-19 related service projects, ranging from sending letters to frontline workers to raising funds for migrant workers in India.
GAFO is a service project dedicated to helping the small and struggling clubs in the SAS service community through the organization of events and workshops. Working as an offshoot of ESC, GAFO connects students with a passion for service with valuable resources to support the success of their club.
Project Karuna aims to aid India in its fight against COVID-19. Our goal is to raise funds for various organizations run by the government of Karnal and spread awareness on the problems faced by the vulnerable sections of Indian society.
We utilize social media, writing, and fundraisers to raise money and awareness about the plight of impoverished Indian citizens during the pandemic.
We're an American school, but we're the only club that supports underfunded public schools in the United States. And with over 1,000 schools that cannot afford to stay open 5 days a week, we need your help more than ever. Together, let's make quality education a right and not a privilege.
Welcome back to Service Council Update. I'm your host, Cal Galicia.
And I'm your co-host, Kohei Sano. This year, we'll be using the service portal for all your service needs, such as keeping track of your hours, joining clubs, and checking into events. Let me take you through a quick introduction. If you haven't created an account yet, head over to sasserviceportal.com to set up your account. Simply fill in your details and you're set. During the Service Club Fair, you'll see new clubs that you might want to join. To join a club, either go on the Join Clubs page on the portal and find the club that you want to join and click on the Join button. Or click on the link provided in our Service Club Fair page. For more information, feel free to read through the Quick Start Guide on our service portal.
During your next advisor, you're going to head over to sassvc.com and attend our virtual club fair. So how this works is all of our ESC officers have taken the task of interviewing every single club in our service council. If there are any questions you have about any of the clubs, you'll be able to Zoom call in one of the ESC officers and we'll be able to answer any of the questions that you may have that the interview didn't cover. If you haven't yet already, follow us at sas.servicecouncil. We'll be posting anything related to ESC and any updates that clubs want you to know. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Limitations breed creativity, and the same goes for service. So once again, welcome back. Have a great morning and even better tomorrow.